Okay, so listeners and watchers, welcome back to the next episode of the podcast. I'm delighted today, should I say, to be joined by my friend Neera. She's here today to speak to me all about writing and about books and about Substack probably as well. So Neera, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you very much. It's
Brilliant.
great to be with you once again. We met last year, probably, when you were on my podcast.
That's right. Yep. I can't believe that was last year. It seems like either ages ago or just happened yesterday. um,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
Life kind of blurs into one, doesn't it? Um,
Mm.
Neera, for people who maybe don't know you today, tell us a little bit about yourself. So, who are you? Where are you from? How did you come to be where you are now in your writing journey?
Okay, so it's a very open question. So I can start from my writing journey, probably, because I took an early retirement in 2019. I sometimes call it as quitting my job to write full time. And I started writing not because I was a good writer, but because I was a bad one. And I was really wanting to improve my writing. And I just wanted to get, I was always a reader, but to be able to write, I knew I had to spend much more time on it to get better at it.
Mm,
So I did that in 2019, and I started a website, a blog, and I kept on writing over there for many months, I think about 18 months. And then around pandemic, I discovered medium.com, and I wrote an article there and forgot about it. But few weeks later, when I went back to it, there was a few comments on it and people liked it and all that. And I said, oh my God, there's some audience over here, so I should start writing on Medium. So I
mm,
started writing over there, and I did various challenges, 30-day article a day, 100-day article a day, and things like that. And eventually, through Medium and I was having a coffee chat with someone, I discovered Substack.
mm,
So this person was having, I don't know, 50 coffee chats in 50 days, and he invited me for that. And I went for that, and he shared his newsletter with me, and which was in Substack. And it was Substack was very new in those days, and I
mm,
really liked how easy it was. It was just like Medium, the platform. So I said, okay, I'm going to move my newsletter from Mailchimp onto Substack.
mm,
So it was such a relief to come to a clean platform. So then I started writing it over there, and it was in I think November 2020, if I could recall correctly. So it's been 5 years. This November, last year November, I celebrated 5 year of writing on Substack.
brilliant.
And during that time, I wrote my first book in 2021, June 2021. And the story behind was that for 3 years of writing on my website and on Medium, I had nothing to show for it.
Mm,
All the effort was just gone into articles or anything. I couldn't say to anybody, what have I done in these three
mm,
years and I virtually spent so much time on it, 10 hours a day, and sometimes 6 7 days a week. You know the
mm,
drill. Everyone who is trying to do the same thing. So one day I came up with this voice in my head which told me to write that damn book, because I always wanted to write a book. And that voice said, write that damn book and write it fast. So
mm.
I wrote my first book in 7 days,
Wow.
and I did that in public. So every day I was sharing my progress on Medium,
Mm,
that what happened today, how many words I got in, what was my struggles, all those things. And people started invest. They got invested in my story. So when I did get to publish my book half an hour before the midnight, and I shared that I have published it. Here it is in on Amazon. It's available. About 13 people bought it,
Nice.
and that gave me such a not only sense of accomplishment, and I had something concrete to um, share, or something tangible in my hand of my efforts, but also it gave me the authority.
Mm,
I suddenly became someone with publishing that book. But 400 articles before that meant nothing, but a tiny book, a 100-page book, meant a lot.
mm.
And it still is my, I've written about 14 books since then, um,
Wow.
um, both fiction and non-fiction, but this one is still my best-selling book. It sells every week, it sells 10, 20 copies.
Brilliant.
So that is my writing story, and
Mm.
yeah.
I love it. I love it. That's amazing. I love that. I love that process. Just the last thing you mentioned there about writing the book in such a short space of time, and then bringing your audience along with you in the journey as well.
Hmm.
Do you think that was really really key in just getting them engaged in wanting to buy it then whenever it was available?
I think it was.
Mm,
I think it was, and I wasn't doing it with the knowledge that how good this was. I was just doing it because at that time I was going through this 100 article in 100 day thing,
mm,
and I needed material to write on Medium, and that turned out to be a very good way. And
mm,
in fact, those what I wrote, the longer form of that is also in this book, which I call author's diary. So after every chapter, I have a couple of pages in this book itself about the process of writing this book. So
mm.
what was happening, I was documenting not only for the Medium but for this book as well. So
Brilliant.
many comments or many reviews in this of this book on Amazon say that that was the particular part which people found very interesting and
Wow.
uplifting, because they thought if that is what she went through, that's fine if we are going through it as well. Or
Mm,
these are the traps and we need to be careful of that.
mm,
So I think the whole process became so transparent, and that became the selling point of that book.
fantastic. And you said you sell a certain number of copies every week of the book on Amazon. What's driving those sales? Are you running ads for it, or what way do you work it?
Yes, I
Mm,
am running ads for it.
mm,
And ads sometimes work and sometimes don't. Amazon ads are, and you got to really spend time on it. But what I've found is that whenever I talk about this book online, and just like now on the live and all that, either this book or some other books,
mm,
I have done a live on my book, which is Productive Writer, and I showed people what's in there. On that day, I sold many copies of Productive Writer and also my journal, which is Author's Planner and Bullet Journal, which is accompanying uh, planner to
nice.
this book. Both got sold because once people get to know what's in the book, it's easier for them to pick it up for that very reason.
Mm,
And in this Productive Writer, I have 4 levels of productivity for writers: level 1, level 2, level 3. And I discuss how you can get from one level to another level, what are the things you need to be
mm,
turn into systems, and
yeah.
go from there.
Very good. Very good. Can you give us a little insight into maybe one of those portions, Nira, about
Of
productivity?
productivity, oh
Yeah.
sure, yes. So for level 1 productivity, I call it journal operations management.
Mm,
And it's got 4 things. One is using a calendar.
mm,
So previously I wasn't using a calendar. Of course, at work you get to use the calendar, but when you're become a writer, when you're at home, you think you can manage your things. But I realized pretty soon that I cannot keep all my deadlines or my engagement or other things without a calendar. So I
Mm,
brought in a calendar, Google Calendar, and now I can't live without it. And second element of level one productivity is the email management.
mm,
So I learned this system from Tiago Forte.
mm,
If you have heard of Second Brain, he
mm,
has another book called Para, in which he explains that email management. And I run at a zero inbox
mm,
email, and which I follow that system and which I share in this book as well. Then number three is the file management.
mm,
So I've used the Para system again for my file management. So but previously it used to be very hard for me to find a document or a quote or other things I have saved on my computer. I would have to really remember or struggle and go through several folders. Now I have a after this productivity system,
mm.
I have a system in place. I can go straight into where I know where things are.
Perfect.
And last one is technology. So for technology, I meant by technology is previously I used to have an analog a Windows computer, a iPhone, an iPad,
Mm,
and every time I have to need put a picture in my blog post, I'll take a picture with my iPhone, email it to myself, download it from there, upload it in there. Used to take many minutes.
mm,
Then I decided I'm going to bite the bullet. I'm going to learn Apple, Mac, and I'm going to put every all on the same platform, and
mm.
that saved me hours.
Brilliant.
So that's level one. So then I
Mm,
go into level two and level three. So
nice.
it's really very very practical book,
Mm,
if people want to actually become productive writers, and you need to, because with the amount of work we have to do as writers, as freelance writers or newsletter writers, and being in this game, we need very very well set systems.
yeah, yeah, I agree. I'm definitely one of those people who has way too many things going on and everything's kind of scattered everywhere. So, that system sounds really helpful. I think I definitely need to look into that.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
um,
think you should get my book
I will,
and
I
put
will,
it
I
there.
definitely will.
And
Yeah,
while we are at it, I'll just say a few words about this my analog system
go for it.
of managing my. So this is the task management system. So task management system comes in level two of writing, level two of productivity.
Mm,
So in task management, I have created this whole analog system rather than a digital one,
mm-hmm,
because I found it works much better because it stays with me. So what it has got, it starts with the business plan, then it goes with the monthly plan, project plans, one page project plans. Then I go into month by month. What I'm going to achieve in that month, and then it goes to week. If you can
mm,
see that, so in the week, I put all the tasks I want to achieve in that week, or as the ideas come or different things come, I put in there. Then they get slotted in that into the day,
mm,
and none of my day has more than 6 tasks to do.
mm,
So that is because you can't do that. Wherever I try to have more, I haven't done one or two out of them. So
mm.
that happens. And then there's a column for ideas. If there's any ideas that come I need to do, I put it there rather than acting on it straight away, so I
Mm-hmm.
can slot it properly. And then there is a column for achievement
Yeah,
in that. So
brilliant.
what have I achieved in that week? So that
Mm,
goes in there. Then at the end of the book there is a annual assessment, and then different thing and planning for the next year, and habit tracking and all that sort of thing. So this is my system, this is what I wanted. And I couldn't find it in any of the planners, even the bullet journal and all that. So I
you get it
created my
yourself.
own.
Mm,
and I've been using it ever since I
very
created it.
good. Brilliant. Yeah, brilliant.
Mm,
Again, anyone who's listening to this or watching this later, make sure you check those out. At the end of this, I'll put the links to Neera's books, or just to the page where you can buy them all in general at the bottom of this, so you can get them
sure.
easily.
Hmm.
Neera, you say that writing a book is the fastest way to build authority right now in
Hmm.
2026 and beyond. But most
Yes.
creators never get to the stage where they finish a book. A lot of them start, but they sort of fall off
Hmm.
after a point.
Hmm.
What do you think is the real reason that most writers kind of get stuck and don't manage to finish their books?
Um, there could be several reasons, but the primary one which I have found with people is they make their book too big.
Mm,
They want to include everything in one book, and which is a big mistake. A It's very hard to handle that much of content.
mm,
So that's why in my training or in my cohort, where I help people write their book in 30 days, I give them a strict instructions that you cannot write more than 13 chapters,
mm,
and none of the chapters could be more than 2000 words.
mm,
And then further each chapter I get them to, because always outline your book first,
mm,
particularly nonfiction one. um, because without an outline you have free reign. You don't know which way you will be going too much and which one you will be condensing,
mm,
and without knowing that, that is making your book lopsided.
mm,
So it's not a balanced book then. So unless until you have an outline, you don't know what's going on with your book.
mm,
And other thing, big reason I think people don't finish their book is because they are in and out of their book.
mm,
So they will spend few days, do the work, then get away from it, come back to it after a few days. By the time they have forgotten what they have written or ideas they had, they haven't captured it, they
mm,
haven't started thinking about it. So I call it, and that was my problem initially as well. I had started many books before the one I published, I showed you. I
mm.
was getting in and out of it.
Yeah.
um, but when you concentrate completely, when you set yourself 30-day goal or whatever day, you are constantly in that book, you're thinking about it, you're solving issues or problems you are having about that book, all the time.
Mm,
Ideas keep start coming to you all again. And always whenever I'm writing, working on a book, and I do it in 30 days, most of my first drafts are done 30 days. I
mm,
always keep a notebook in with me and a pen. It travels with me from room to room, in the kitchen, in the bathroom. It
mm,
goes everywhere because as soon as an idea strikes, I write it down so
mm,
that I don't forget. um, One, it's written and I don't have to think about it. Two, it frees my brain to think of other things.
yeah.
So now I've written it down, now my brain can free float and get other ideas.
Mm,
So that's how I finish my books early, and that's how I actually teach people to do it as soon as possible,
mm,
particularly the first draft.
yeah.
Then you can keep adding to it, embellishing it, refining it, whatever you need to do, you can keep doing that. But do your first draft as quickly as possible. And I
Mm,
learned it from NaNoWriMo, if you remember. Have
yep.
you ever participated?
I haven't done it before, but I've always wanted
Yeah.
to.
Oh, well, I did it for 7 or 8 years.
Mm,
Um,
brilliant.
Continuously.
Mm,
Um, I wrote in NaNoWriMo. I couldn't initially. I couldn't do that many because it was required to do 1,667 words a day. I couldn't
mm,
do that, but every year initially I ended up 13,000, 20,000, 30,000 words. But in the last few years, I was managing 50,000 words without problem
brilliant.
because I have trained myself to do that.
Mm, yep. I love the idea, Nira, that you mentioned there about how whenever you get the idea out of your head onto the page and it frees up your brain to think
Mm.
about the things in instead.
Hmm.
I definitely resonate with that because I find that if I have an idea, I have to kind of like hold it in my brain and keep sort of moving
Mm.
it around and in fear of losing it. So definitely
Mm.
getting it out of your brain and somewhere else then frees that up, which is great advice, I think,
Sh-
for any
Sure,
writer.
sure. I'm surrounded by notebooks all around my amidst myself. So, and I, in the middle of the night, without any light, I have written down
Oh, really?
things. Yes,
Brilliant.
I may not be able to read them the next day, but I had written them down.
You get them out though.
Yeah, get them out.
Neera, what's the difference between, and you mentioned this on, I think, your about page, the difference between a vanity project book and a strategic authority asset. So, how do you know which of those you're writing as a writer?
Okay, so a vanity project could be whatever you wanted to write.
Mm,
And I have written vanity project books. I wrote a cookbook, which I haven't published yet, but that's the book my daughters wanted. They wanted me to write all the recipes they used to love as a child,
mm,
so that they can make them. So I wrote that book. I haven't published it because I have been advised a lot of time that you don't put your vanity books along with your work books, because all my books are for writers, and if I put my cookbook in there, that dilutes the message. I might
okay.
create some other pen name and put it up
Mm,
there, but so recipe books or any other sort of book which you are doing for yourself, or some other your poetry book, which is one of poetry book. There are many people who have written beautiful poetry books, and that has become their platform.
mm,
But strategic book, by strategic book I mean the book which launches your business.
mm,
So it needs to have a clear, first of all, it needs to have an audience who it is for. Secondly, it needs to have address a problem, one problem.
mm,
Third, it needs to have a solution for that problem in a form that it is repeatable, doable, in a framework, possibly, or
mm,
in such a way that people can use it.
mm,
Uh, then it needs to launch your offer. At, at the end of the book, people should be able to come, they should be clear that what are you offering. Are you offering a one-on-one coaching, consulting, or are you inviting people onto your membership um,
mm,
portal, or are you asking them to join your course or cohort? And that is what makes that book a calling card or your business card,
mm,
so which you can take, which works for you all the time, 24 hour by 7, and without you have to handing it to anybody.
mm. Okay.
They've discovered it, and discovery, and that makes it another plus point, because people, when you tell people something, they don't take it, but
Mm,
when they discover something themselves, they love it because it's their
mm.
discovery now.
Nice.
So that's why I get them to write a book which should have a proper um, solution and the way forward
Mm,
in their book,
yeah.
and that becomes a strategic book.
Yeah, I've heard another creator, I think on YouTube, talking about the same sort of thing where most of their sales, most of their coaching clients and leads come from a book that they have on Amazon, and they basically just
Hmm.
funnel all their marketing
Hmm.
money into this book on Amazon, and everything comes from that. Because as you say, it's like the
Hmm.
first sort of organic step for somebody,
Yes,
and then they
yes.
have like a CTA at the end then to check out their coaching program after that. So yeah, it's a great approach
Yeah.
actually. I don't think everyone does that. I think it's we're sort of
No.
conditioned to think more about social media and Google as ways of promoting ourselves and our offer, but if you've created a book, then that's a brilliant first step, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, it does two things. It
Mm,
gives you authority, first of all. uh, Nothing else gives you the kind of authority a book does.
mhm,
If you have written a book and you want to become a keynote speaker, there's much better chances of being doing that than without a book and just coming up as a speaker on a topic.
Mm,
Same goes, if you have written 400, 500 articles or newsletters, they don't carry the same kind of weight if you have written a book and then you have written the articles,
mm,
or while writing articles you've written book. Most of my books have come from my medium and my website articles,
mm,
because I have teased those ideas, I have written about them, I have used them in my life. So, and I had collected all the stories and the related material. So it was very easy to write those books because I had used them already. I
mm,
have done that already. But what those articles didn't give me any standing. But having published that many books from it have made me an author people come to help them write their books, or invite
mm,
me for podcast or other places.
mm.
So gives you
Brilliant.
a platform.
Brilliant. And Neera, you mentioned to me that you've recently launched a new program that could be a great source of help for writers and creators. And
Hmm.
it's about I think you said to me it's about helping creators turn a single business book into that authority that you mentioned
Hmm.
there and help them get clients and scale their business. Can you tell us more about that?
Yes, so I launched this program this year in January, and first cohort is running. Um, and the second one, I'm advertising or and inviting people to join. It's going to start from March, but you can, if you are interested to do it earlier than that, you can join the course anytime. And but if you want to learn and do it in a group setting, you can start from 5th of March.
Mm,
So in this cohort, what I basically do is I do 4 sessions with them, to take them through different stages of writing their book. So first stage or first week is about finding their book,
mm,
their idea, turning it into a valid form, validating it, and figuring out what should be in book, in that, outlining it and detail outlining all that, is in first week. And
mm,
then second week onwards they start writing it, and then I take them step by step through the writing process and editing process, and eventually I give them material for self-publishing it.
mm,
But I leave it up to them whether they want to self-publish later, after they have let their book sit for a while and go back to it and they want to refine it further, or if they're ready to publish it, they can do
mm.
that after 30 days. So
Yes.
that program is very helpful for people who have been writing long form for a while.
Mm,
It's not for the beginners, I must say that, because you'll be writing fast and you'll be writing every single day,
mm,
and that is something doesn't come to beginning level.
mm,
And secondly, it is for the people who have something to say and something to share, have an offer. So you're not just writing your memoir, unless until there's a message in that memoir and you are using your own story to get that message
mm,
across. And the important element of this program is I'm helping them write a business book, a strategic book. So I also help them figure out what their business is going to be
mm,
coming from that book, what their offer will be, how they are going to have tiered offer, different levels of offer, and how they are going to launch it
mm.
uh, after the book. So
Brilliant.
that's all embedded in one cohort.
Nice.
Uh, so it
Um,
uh, Another thing I would like to add, sorry, David,
yeah, go ahead. Go
is
ahead.
that it is a implementation cohort. So one thing I have observed that there is a lot of information all around, and most of the substackers and the other creators, they concentrate on providing more and more and more information.
Mm,
I found the gap that people need help in implementing what they are learning rather than getting more information.
Mm,
So I have designed my cohort in such a way that they are accountable every single day of what they're doing,
mm,
how much they have done. They share, they work in a group situation, and they're helping each other, and their daily tasks, daily homeworks, and they have to write 1,000 word, 500 to 1,000 word a day
mm,
towards their book. So it is an implementation program,
mm,
which is different than other programs about writing books, which is mostly information heavy and
mm.
not implementation and accountability heavy.
Brilliant. That's really good. What's the program called?
I call the program is called the One Book 200K.
Mm,
And within that, I have three programs. And first one is the Write Your Book in 30 Days. I
mm.
haven't introduced the other two programs yet, so I'll leave it that. That is
Exciting.
for next one will be the implementation of the business.
Mm,
So that is again is an implementation program, but I haven't started advertising that one yet.
mm.
But first one is Write Your Book in 30 Days. Simple.
Brilliant. I think that's so important because it's definitely a thing that holds us all back. I think as writers is just kind of getting over the line, getting the book actually finished, just that first draft. Because I
Mm-hmm.
know that for me, whenever you get the first draft done, everything else goes a lot faster after that. I think once the first
Mm-hmm.
draft exists, you can start editing it. You can start thinking how you're going to promote it and stuff, and do your cover and
Mm-hmm.
all that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think it's a great cohort to be part of, I'm sure. And anyone again who's listening to this, make sure you check that out as well and see what that's all about. Neera, can people reach out to you directly if they have any more questions? Can they send you a direct message or an email, that
Sure,
sort of thing?
sure. Yes, I'm open for direct messages. Just DM me in Substack. I'm also on LinkedIn, so if anybody want to reach me from LinkedIn, that's fine too.
Brilliant.
Uh, and
Nice.
yeah, yeah. I would love to help anyone who is sitting on a book.
Hmm.
I just wanted to mention a couple of names I came across recently.
Hmm.
There's a Substack writer called Peter Mukherjee.
Hmm.
Peter Peter Mukherjee. He wrote a book. He rather collated a book. He interviewed about 22 people, the high achievers, Olympians, and others, and he interviewed them. And he wrote a book based on that called "A Few Wise Words."
Hmm.
And then he created a Substack based on the book where
Hmm.
he's sharing these ones, and he's doing more interviews, more podcasts, more stories based on that, and he's built a whole ecosystem around that book and around that one idea.
Nice.
So that is the kind of people and book I'm looking for if someone is willing to start a business of them. Another one, Veronica, is another example. She turned her first book, the Veronica Lorca Smith, those who don't know her lemon tree mindset is based on her book,
Hmm.
first book she wrote. There is Amy Suto has just written her book, released her book, which was Right for Money and Power, and
Hmm.
it's based on her Substack,
Yep.
which her Substack is already successful, but she's written a book now, and it's going to get even bigger with that because she's writing about her process and how she's helping writers. So
Hmm.
this is not a something new which I have discovered. It is been around for a long time. I think the first author who did that was Napoleon Hill.
Hmm.
His book How to Grow Rich uh,
Hmm.
was the first one, and then he had another books about how to make friends. And uh, so he used to do seminars in those days, and people would fly to his seminars. In those time, it was very expensive to fly and staying in hotels and attending seminars, but people would do that in droves.
Hmm.
So he is the one. Then there are other people. James Clear did that. He wrote one book, and now he's the highest paid, one of the highest paid keynote speaker.
Mm,
getting things done. Writer is the same on the same thing, caliber. And then I want also give example to people of Mary Kondo.
mm,
Mary Kondo created an empire based on her book. Um,
mm.
the on her organizing method.
Yes.
Um, and her book sold millions of copies. She's got her own TV channel. She has created a course from her book or her method, which she actually gives people certificate to use that method
Mm,
on her behalf. So she's selling her IP basically,
mm,
intellectual property by doing that. And this sky is the limit once you have a something to teach or share, and doesn't have to be massive. Mary Kondo's way of folding clothes and organizing them by category rather than by rooms
mm.
is a simple thing, and she has been able to
Turn
create an
into
empire
business.
from that. So I want people to think about it, think their idea, find out how they want to turn it into a business, and
Mm,
then write a book about it. And that's all you need. And my book is coming out on this idea.
mhm.
It's called One Book 200 K, and people can get that. And
Nice.
it's coming on March, 2nd of March.
Brilliant.
It's going to be released. So that's where people can actually get to know a bit more about this idea and start
Awesome.
using it.
I love it. Neera, some of the people that you mentioned there, how important do you think a personal brand is when it comes to being a writer? So how you convey yourself on Substack, for instance, or LinkedIn or YouTube. Is that something that you feel really plays a pivotal role in all of this now?
I think personal brand is very important
Mm,
because who you are is basically um, s- gets you following, gets you clients, gets you um,
like book sales and
a,
stuff. Mm,
a place in the crowded market.
mm,
But most of the people, and me too, initially, I thought personal brand was about the color palette and having a nice
profile.
banner and all that sort
Mm,
of things. Never worked for me because by the time I was figuring out what I was, my banner was outdated and all that. So just concentrated on being myself.
mm,
Um, so I come across as I am, and I talk to people in my normal voice. They don't put on any show or anything, and I attract people by being myself.
mm,
um, uh, and that is all you need for personal branding. Of course you can once you have means and money and all that, you can streamline your other things, and it's pretty expensive. I've tried getting the banners created and color scheme and blah blah blah. After a while I gave up. I said
mm,
this is too much. All I need to be is myself, and I'll attract people to that. I
mm,
think the best compliment I got was from a reader, a Substack reader, who found me, and she wrote back to me saying that I found you 2 days ago, and I went to your Medium account, to your website, to your Substack newsletter, everywhere, and LinkedIn. Everywhere I read the same thing. You are so consistent, um, that I am totally with you now.
mm,
So if someone is saying that, and that's what people do, they check you out everywhere, and
mm.
that is the authenticity they expect in you. And if you are able to give them, you don't need anything else.
Mm. I 1000% agree with all that. I love that answer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love that. Who has listened to anything I've been saying over the last year probably knows that I'm
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big advocate of writers having their own personal brands. I mean, very, very authentic in the way they develop them. So I love everything you said
Mm-hmm.
there, Nira. Couple more questions, and then I'll let you go. Um, you've obviously mentioned your programs and your cohorts and your book that are coming up. Um, do you have any big plans beyond all that for the future? So what are the next sort of couple of years going to look like for you, do you think, on Substack and as a writer in general?
Well, I think this is the big plan. I just launched this month.
Mm,
So this year, I'm fully going to concentrate on my cohort. And my goal is to help 100 people to write their books
mm,
this year.
nice.
So if I'm able to do that, it will be a big achievement for me.
Mm,
And also, I'm working on my fiction writing on the side.
mm,
That's another creative outlet I have. And I have released 6 books last year and this year in a romance category,
mm,
and I intend to build on that this year as well. It's under a pen name, and it's a totally different audience. And of course, I'm building a newsletter for that and mailing list and all that sort of thing. So all my time is going to get consumed with this, and
yeah.
I'll plan for next year at the end of this year. It's too early
Yeah.
to plan. Nothing works out if these days for
It
more
always
than six
changes.
months or 1 year is too much.
Yeah, you're very busy. That's great.
Yeah.
Can you leave us near with one final golden nugget of advice for anyone who wants to write for a living?
Oh,
Just one final
it's the
thought.
hardest question always. I ask people, and then that's time for me to relax, another person to think about it. And today it's coming back to me. So I have the biggest advice I can give people is that build your stamina and build your systems,
Hmm,
because very early on I learned that writing is a stamina game. You got to build the stamina for to write consistently for many days, and I don't mean write consistently for many hours in a day. No, I write in very short 15 minutes interval. And if I'm going through the flow, I can add another 15 minutes or another 50 minutes to it, 15 minutes to it. But you need to be able to do it every single day.
hmm,
So
hmm,
that is the kind of stamina you need to build. And initially, I agree. If someone is finding difficult, I agree, because previously when I was started new to writing, I couldn't write more than once or twice a week.
hmm,
I just didn't have mental power, or sometime I will feel exhausted even with one session.
hmm,
But then slowly you build your writing muscle, I call it, and you build that stamina, and then you build your systems.
hmm. Yeah.
And there are many systems you put into it. For example, my writing system is writing in 15 minutes intervals.
Hmm,
That has served me so well.
hmm,
So even if I have 15 minutes in the morning before going to gym, I use that.
hmm. Perfect.
So
Love that.
that's that's where.
Yeah, I love that. I love the idea just writing in short bursts, because so much of the time we think we have to sit down and block out like a 2 hour section of our day and just write. And
Mhm,
I know that I do that sometimes, but I love the idea of just setting aside that short period of time writing and then
mhm,
getting on with your day and then coming back to it again. And I love that. I think that kind of fits with your kind of approach in general, like the way you bring around a notebook with you everywhere you go, and you just kind of everything's kind of done on the fly, but it's very organized at the same time. I love that about you. Neera, thank you so much for this conversation. It was so good. I think this is really solid, useful, actionable advice for anyone who wants to write for a living or sell their own books or get things done. So yeah, I really appreciate
mhm.
this. Neera, is the best place for people to find you Substack, or where would you like to send people to after this?
My Substack. That's
Substack.
the best place. That's my home.
Perfect.
So yeah, check
Yep.
me. Check my Substack is called Author Circle.
Hmm.
So just check it out and come and say hi. Uh,
Perfect. Brilliant.
Love to, and thank you for having me.
No problem. You're very welcome. It's really good to have you here, and I'll catch you in Substack really soon.
Yep, will do. Will
All the
do.
best. Bye
Thanks.
bye.